Today I will show you how to make hand-manipulated lace on the Passap. First, make sure the racking handle is in its lowest position. I will raise 84 needles on the front bed of the machine, 42 to the left and 42 to the right side of 0. You can raise more needles to make the piece wider. Use the orange tool and arrange them in 1-to-1 division. I will attach the cast-on rack to the needles on the front bed. Place the edge springs on the last working needles and attach weights to the cast-on rack. I will attach 4 evenly spaced weights. Set the front lock to N and the stitch size to 6. Set the back lock to GX and insert the black strippers. Now thread the machine with a ravel cord and knit 1 row. Cut the ravel cord, remove the eyelet from the machine and set the front lock to GX. Now slide the lock to the right and take the waste yarn. I will use 2 strands of acrylic yarn. Set the front lock to N and knit 1 row. Now put the rest of the needles in working position and move the right edge spring. Knit 7 rows with the waste yarn. Increase the stitch size to 5 and take the main yarn for the table runner. Knit 4 rows and set the front lock to GX. Raise the needles all the way, then bring them down until the latches are just about to start closing up. Now take the yarn from the lock and pull it. Bring the yarn in front of the needles and start putting them out of working position one by one. That will create long loops. I will show you the process up close in a minute, but notice how I'm holding the yarn in the hook of one of the needles. When you finish the row, hold the cast-on rack and pull it down to bring the needles back to working position. Now slide the lock to the left side. Pull the yarn from the comb to fix the tension and set the front lock to N. Then move the edge spring and start changing the places of the stitches. It's like when making cables. You have to change the places on all stitches on the row. Make sure you are moving the stitches in the same direction each time. After you change the places of all stitches, knit 4 rows and set the front lock to GX. Now you have to repeat the same steps. First raise the needles all the way up, then bring them to the position where the stitches are just about to close the latches. Pull the yarn from the lock, bring it in front of the needles and start putting them out of working position. If you try to put several needles down at once, the loops won't be the same length. When you finish the row, slide the lock to the right, then pull the yarn from the comb to fix the tension. Hold the cast-on rack and pull it down to bring the needles into working position. Now move the edge springs and change the places of the stitches again. I won't lie to you, it will take a lot of time to get it done, but it looks great. When I have enough free time, I will make myself curtains using this lace. By the way, I saw the idea for that video from a channel named Knitology. I highly recommend you to check it out. I will leave a link to that video where you can see different variations of that lace that you can make on the Passap. When you transfer all stitches, set the front lock to N and knit 4 rows. Now you can see the close-up shots. I'm raising the needles all the way and I'm bringing them down until the stitches are just touching the latches. Pull the yarn from the lock and hook it to one of the needles. When the yarn is in the hook of the needle, it is going straight in front of the others and the chance of making a mistake is smaller. As you may tell, each mistake will cost you a lot of work. Now I'm pulling the cast-on rug and I have to change the places of the stitches. You can see how big my piece is already. I knitted a total of 104 rows. Now set the front lock to N and take the waste yarn. Knit 20 rows with the waste yarn. Leave the eyelet in the color changer and remove the weights. Now slide the lock to the left to remove the knitted piece. It should look like this. First I will pull out the ravel cord. Now you can remove the cast-on rug. At this point you only have to finish the ends and remove the waste yarn. I finished the ends the same way as on the previous table runner which I made. It looks great. Now I will iron it and it is ready for use. Don't forget to support me by pressing the like button. That's all for today. Thank you for watching and see you in my next video.